All right. Hi and hello, everybody. So, here is my very first stream on YouTube. I'm very proud of it. And yeah, hopefully, we get some cool people in to hang out with me while I draw and paint. So, I started out streaming on Facebook. I am doing a dapper octopus. And I let's see, what else can I say about it? Oh, well, I got a lot of it kind of laid in. For those of you who are following me from the Facebook live stream, I did kind of go through and build some more orange and purple on. I figured that wouldn't be very exciting for anybody who has already watched this to have me go through all of it again. So I went ahead and did that a little bit. Just a little bit before getting started, just so we can kind of start working on some other stuff. I do need to lay some more but I need to go through and add some more highlights because it's nice and distinguished right here, but it's a little bit, and it's totally dry. A little bit of orange highlights here. And just give me a second. I got my headphones in because I'm trying to get some music on here. So, just taking me a minute to like get set up and stuff. All right. So, anyway, how's everybody doing? Let's see. And I'm just putting on Stream Beats by Harris Heller. Makes kind of a good background music for, just kind of whatever I have going on. So, yeah. Sorry, just getting a couple more things set up and then I'll be ready to go. Sorry, I like to get music set up for myself too, so I'm not like in silence, but also, yeah, all that fun jazz. There we go. Okay. Now I'm good to go. It's louder than my voice. Okay. How's that sounding? Okay. All right, we'll just kind of roll from here. So I'm going to get started on the last of these highlights, and then I should be good to go for starting on the underside of the tentacles. So, and just to catch everybody up, I'm using acrylic paint, specifically Liquitex acrylic ink is what it is. And the way I kind of describe it to people is it's kind of a happy medium between watercolors and acrylic paint. So yeah. And now I'm just going to go through. Yeah, let me know how all that sounds. It's a little hard for me to kind of gauge it because I'm kind of juggling a lot of stuff, but mostly as long as, I guess, my voice is probably the more important part, so we'll just kind of go with that. So now I'm just going through, and yeah, I have like the main part of the octopus's body that is kind of colored in here. I used a lot of oranges and purples, and so, all right, audio's perfect, awesome. Thank you, sir. And okay, so sorry, I'm like trying to like figure out if things are like right and then like trying to talk, so that's surprisingly hard to do. Okay, so where I left off on the Facebook feed is basically I'm layering a lot of colors onto this. And it's layer after layer after layer. It's all very, it's very layered. But yeah, and I'm just kind of going through and pushing the highlights a little bit. Yeah, a lot of the purples and everything on the ends of his tentacles wasn't really there when I did it last time. So, hello everybody! Yay! He is one dapper boy. But yeah, I'm just going to push the last little bit of these highlights, and then we're going to start on the underside of his tentacles, and I'm kind of thinking actually to do a little bit of a bold lime green. All right. And it's Shrek, it's full of layers. It's got layers, it's like onions. Basically, octopuses are like onions. It's all layers. Donkey. I'm not going to do a Scottish accent. I will offend anybody who's like remotely Scottish if I do a Scottish accent. Right. And I'm gonna oops. One of the good things actually about this type of ink is since I do tend to let layers dry before painting on top of it, it's kind of a fairly slick surface, so I can just kind of wipe it off, so makes it a very forgiving media. If you just kind of take your time and lean into it. All right, well, good. You should be. And I got all my supplies set up on my little TV tray here off to the side. So I'm going to use it's kind of scratched up on the label, but it's Vivid Lime Green. And we're going to put this underneath here, have some greens and purples to kind of make it a nice, secondary color scheme. Triadic color scheme and secondary colors, that is. And then I am also going to use this, it's long Greek word and blue shade. So, yeah. Phthalocyanine green. Parentheses blue shade. See me, I'm just perpetually grumpy. That's just me. Alright. And then we're also going to be using cadmium yellow, light hue. And instead of painting like every little circle, or every little, I guess, sucker in the under part of the tentacle, we're just going to do a smooth surface and then I'm going to go in over it. That's kind of the easiest way, I think, to really address that. So I'm going to go in first with the Greek word green. And we're just gonna do kind of a wash. It just kind of evens out and gives it an easier like foundation to build on instead of all the splatters underneath. And name it long Greek word green. What made you decide to go with YouTube? I just kind of want to branch out into other types of, into other streaming platforms just because, I have, you know, a decent following on Facebook, but I kind of want to try and see if I can snag some new people, and YouTube seems to be a pretty busy place, I guess, to go with that. I think from now on I'm just going to tell people that my favorite color is Greek word green. But yeah, this should probably be kind of, I guess, my home, and as I learn a little bit better how to manage everything, I'll probably start using Twitch a little bit too. It's just a lot to juggle, and like I'm very much still learning on a lot of this stuff. A snaggable place, exactly. Okay. All right. And now we're just gonna kind of go in and some of these paints are a little bit more opaque than others. Like, it was pretty transparent with the Greek word green, but this lime is a little bit more opaque. So it makes it a lot easier to kind of, yeah, sort of paint on top of it. All right. Hang on 1 second. All right. So how's everybody's fun day going on? Oh, yay! I have 7 people watching me right now, and that's like beyond exciting. Hi, everybody! Oh, and I guess if anybody's wondering why there's just random names right above the chat box, it's because of those are the most recent subscribers. So, yeah. Shout out to Allison and Doug. Alright, and man, I almost made like the purple the underside another purple to go with this, but I'm really glad I decided to go with green. I think I'm gonna make like the top hat a dark purple. And it needs to be painted in, but there is a monocle right there.
another thing I also had to kind of learn with doing all this is to not stick my head too close, because I tend to really get my face kind of down, like, on the picture. And, yeah, I don't want to stick my head, like, in the way of the camera. But yeah. Yay! Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm really digging the color scheme too. It's really a really simple one, but I'm enjoying it. And this lime green is one of my favorite colors, and I rarely like get an excuse to use it. So yeah, that makes it extra fun. So. I'm thinking I'm going to do a purple top hat and the band around the top hat here, the ribbon. I might make that another lime green. And I'm kind of debating on the teacup. What do you guys think on the teacup? Light pink? Okay. I can see that. Fancy color for a fancy octopus. I gotta take just a second to let this dry a little bit because it's kind of getting to the point where everything's just gonna blend in together. Yeah, it's fancy. So yeah, I'm thinking doing like a nice bronze color for the chain and the monocle. Yeah, if I do purple and then kind of pink highlights, I could kind of do like a purpley pink. I think that would work really well. And then the cane. Well, if I'm working some bronze tones in, and there's going to be brown in the key, so yeah, I could probably do brown for the cane. So yeah, trying to get that to dry a little bit faster. I actually got a little trick for when I'm going to, when it's taking me a second to get stuff to dry. I'm going to do a really light dab, because I really don't want to bore you guys with like literally watching paint dry. So we're just going to do a light dab. It's not going to hurt anything. Alright. Okay, and now I'm going to go in. It's still a little bit wet, but it's not going to all run together, which is good, because I'm looking to build colors instead of having everything blend in together. I did realize I made one mistake today, and that was actually doing it on a Sunday night. I realized, oh yeah, people watch football, so I'm not really a huge sports nut, but yeah. Told my family about the stream, and yeah, then I forgot. Yeah, the Chiefs are on. So, thank you, fellow nerds, for picking me over sports ball. Just one mistake. Yeah, because otherwise I'm perfect. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it was good. Oh yeah, that would explain it. I guess it's also getting late in the season. So, I don't know. I haven't been paying very close attention to the Chiefs this year. I know they were kind of struggling earlier in the season. I guess they've gotten back on track, but yeah. Loves football, but not the Chiefs. Well, what's your team then? I'm also like totally blowing on this paint. Out of 18 games. Okay. Oh, well. Good old Google. I'm just taking a second for this paint to dry, so... But yeah. Well, maybe they'll, like, make it to the Super Bowl again. I don't really have a strong opinion about football. I root for the Chiefs because home team, but, you know. I'm more of a baseball fan myself. Oh, by the way, another innovation I made for this stream is basically my studio areas in the basement of my house. And I literally had to, like, make a makeshift lampshade for this light. Because, Patriots. Boo. Anyway, I had to make, like, a makeshift lampshade for this light to diffuse some of the light, so... Because this paint can kind of reflect a lot of light, and it was very shiny and kind of distracting to look at on the screen. At least I thought so. So, yeah. Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and dab now that I've let this dry for a second. Okay, and this is kind of coming up a lot, so I'm gonna have to go over it. I'm going to use a smaller brush this time. And yeah, just kind of getting into a little bit finer details on here. And for now, I got a little bit of the lime green kind of mixed in with the cadmium yellow. But yeah, I'm kind of going a little bit more yellow now for the highlight. So yeah, I have this weird habit also. When I color, I tend to do it in a lot of hatching. Just kind of a habit I picked up from inking, but I kind of like it. And for the most part, I also kind of like to, instead of like blending things on my palette and then moving it to here, because it's basically the same consistency as watercolor. And here's my palette here, which I also really need to clean. And yeah, here's my other one. Basically, I don't have enough little wells to actually get every color I would want to blend, and I think it gets a little muddy at times if I do too much of that anyway. So I'll have a few things that I'll actually, you know, kind of make off screen, but for the most part, I do most of my blending kind of directly on the painting. And like I said, a lot of that's just because I have to kind of pick and choose which colors I have in my palette. So I tend to just try to keep, you know, sort of the pure originals as much as possible. I mean, they get mixed up over here too, like this yellow has a lot of green in it now, but you know, what can you do? I'm not going to be using the yellow for anything else, so I think it works. And yeah, I dabbed up a little bit too much paint right there, so I gotta kind of build it. Probably isn't that noticeable on the screen, but it's just, I know. I know when it's killing me. But yeah. Right. And actually, I'm going to take some of that off. Just because this is kind of the underside, so that makes it look like it's coming forward a little too much, so. Oh, and another thing I'd like to add is this stuff does dry darker than when you initially put it on, so that's another thing that I kind of have to account for too. Okay. Kind of going through and seeing what brushes I got. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Greek word green. And I'm going to take a little bit of, let me find it, a little bit of this deep violet, because I'm going to put, since this is kind of connected to that, I'm just going to get a little bit of purple in it. I feel like those colors would kind of, you know, there'd be at least some overlap. So I'm just gonna, and also that helps me kind of define this edge where the cane is. And I'm just gonna start working on shadows in certain areas while I'm waiting on some of these highlights to dry. And that gives back a little more depth on this too. Yeah, this is where I still see like a water drop, or I guess paint droplet. Kind of just sitting there. You ever like mishear lyrics and you know it's not right, but you can't unhear what you heard the first time you listen to something? Because, like, for instance, I have these stream beats on, but I'm listening to Unleash the Archers kind of on my headset, and there's a song called 10,000 Against One, and that's what's in the chorus. And I recommend, like, if you're not familiar with them, listening to Unleash the Archers, because they're a pretty awesome band. If you like, just straight up metal. But it sounds like 10,000 Duckies War. And that's all I can hear when I listen to it, and it really puts a smile on my face. More like 10,000 Duckies War. There's also a Tsunami Bomb song that says enemy inside of me, but it always sounds like anime inside of me. So I like to think it's just like a weed song. Our bees will blot out the sun, and we will hug in the shade. Droplet is still there. Just argue with the songs that play at work. What are these arguments like, Metatron? I have to know. Well, if it's not confusing for everyone else, are you really doing your job? Oh, I know. I hate a lot of love songs for that very reason. It's like Sting's Every Breath You Take. Like, it's so popular in weddings, and I'm just like, that's a stalker song. Why do you think that's hot? It's the same people who are into like Twilight. Just no. No, I'm afraid for you and your relationship choices. Be like, every step you take, every breath you take, I'm watching you. Like, yeah, that's ominous, dude. And I think Sting is actually confused by it too. I think he heard that and he got weirded out by it. And then there's also songs that like were popular when you're a teenager, and when you listen to them as an adult, they have completely different connotations. Like, for instance, I graduated high school in 2002, and I think it was around that time, maybe just after, there was a song called Too Close. I don't remember who sings it, but they're singing about dancing and it getting excited. And it's it's an R&B song, and there's a part, and they're singing about dancing and how they're getting excited, and then the lady starts singing, "Step back, you're dancing kinda close. I feel a little poke come through from you." And I'm just like, oh. So, yeah. She's singing about getting poked by a boner with that guy. And, you know, I never picked up on that. I know. I'm a crone. Thinking about getting a house on stilts with chicken feet and just becoming the Baba Yaga. That's my old lady goals. And also, I'm sorry for anybody who listened to me sing the song about the pokey boner. Like, I am not a great singer. I mean, I can hold a tune, but often I choose not to. I gotta warm up for that. Yeah. I think I've already achieved neighborhood cat lady. Because I am basically my grandma now. She had like 4 cats, so I have to level up a couple times. I only got 2. And one is technically my roommate's. But, yeah. I spend most of my time with them during the day. Just kind of sitting and watching, you know, murder mysteries and eating sandwiches, and I got a couple cats on me, and I realized, oh my goodness, I'm becoming my grandma. Yeah, Bog Witch! Maybe I'll take a couple levels in Siren and then just like shriek at anyone who's wronged me. I can sing about, you know, boner dancing. I'm getting some of that purple kind of brought in. I want to do a drawing of Baba Yaga at some point. Been kind of having a sort of a Slavic folklore kick, so I blame The Witcher. Okay. So I got this purple built up, so I'm going to go back to the Greek word green. And I'm just going to kind of go in and blend it a little bit. And it is just a lot of just going back and forth between colors right now. But yeah, I'm getting this all prepared for when I do go in and add in the suction cups. Yeah, that's starting to build a lot better on top of all of the other colors. So hang on, I gotta, let's see. There we go. Just makes for a much nicer blend. And I totally just use my desk as like to sort of wipe off my brush or test swatches. Which is why you'll see me just kind of randomly do that. The other plus side is if I have excess paint, I can just, go and grab it off my desk while it's still wet and, not waste paint. And then eventually actually probably once I'm done with this painting, I'm going to go through with nail polish remover and then I just wipe all the paint up. I'll be doing that with my palettes too. throw in my cerulean and just kind of go in a little bit on the shadows and sort of blend it. And I'm almost out of cerulean blue, so I'm going to get some more. This is another one of my favorite colors. Kind of wanting to dry brush this a little bit. Occasionally I just go in and I'm like, screw it, I'll just use my finger to kind of wipe it. And then, yeah, just make extra sure that I wash my hands really well after I'm done doing all this. And I'm kind of going in now and sort of defining some of the shadows and whatnot. Because also the more I blend it in with the blue, the more it's going to kind of push it back a little bit. And it also kind of grounds it like in the environment, which is blue because it's in water. tentacle at the very top is for... Well, it's kind of in the background. It's supposed to be pushed way back, and actually I'm going to work on that right now. This is called atmospheric perspective. And yeah, I'm kind of looking to just push this farther back behind him. It's also going to get a little bit of a distinction between this tentacle here and then also his hat and his head. Blend a little bit. So yeah, there's kind of an impression of a shape right here, but it's not really, it's obviously not as detailed as like these up here, and that's by design. And I'll probably go through with a little bit of blue and white towards the end, and I'll give it a little bit more definition and attention to detail. But yeah, otherwise, and I'm going to probably do this with these guys a little bit over here too. It's just to kind of bring some things forward, push some things back, that kind of deal. And I'm just, it's like barely got any blue paint in it, just enough to kind of dust it over it. Realized, and I didn't know because the paint right here was so dark, but there actually is an underside to a tentacle right here, so I'm going to put that guy back in. It took me like really looking up close to notice it, but it's like right here, because they're kind of like wrapped up in each other. So, oops. That started. I'm giving just a second. Going in with a more pure yellow now. Not quite fully. There's a little bit of green in there, but kind of get that pink highlight. start like kind of busting out some white paint. I try to avoid using black ink or white ink or paint, I guess, as much as possible because I think too overuse tends to make it look very flat. So, but there comes a point where, you know, you use yellow so much, it'll only get it so light, so I'm going to help it along with some white. This edge right here too. So it's a little hard to see before. Just to kind of define some of these edges better. This will also kind of help them stand out a little bit against the background too. There we go. The key with this is don't overdo it, and it can be very easy to overdo. Here we got where that edge has pretty much been lost, and I just brought it back with the slide. Like, there's still going to be some definition with it, but I'm not going to give it too much contrast because it's in the back. I still have that one underside that I haven't really built on yet, so we're gonna kind of, it's just a little spot that's sort of pushed under a little bit, so I'm gonna help it along, give it a little bit of definition, but I'm not gonna do too much with it. All right. So I got this done, and I'm gonna go back in with my Greek word green because we're gonna start putting back in the suction cups for the tentacles. And I'm going to do that first by adding, and it's going to go over some highlights and parts, and that's fine, but I'm going to go through with my Greek word green and I'm just painting in the circles because we're going to kind of build on that shape when we make them. So yeah, don't worry about too much about this, because we'll go through and we'll kind of paint it back in so it looks like it belongs there. Alright, let's see. Trying to find the outline of one. Oh, there we go. Some of that off. That's a messy one. There we go. Sometimes I can see where I initially drew them in, and some of these I have to kind of make up. So, but I remember the overall pattern for them, so it's not a huge deal. so that's, oh, forgot that slide again. Okay. Okay, there we go. So we got those kind of laid in now. And I'm gonna let that dry, and I will actually go in and at least get this hat started. And with this purple, I am using Muted Violet. Did I say the other day there's new PV coming? Yes, I am working on Panty Vigilante. So, I'm kind of reworking a few things on it, and that's kind of what's taken a minute. But yeah, and I'll be making more announcements with it. I'd like to kind of get to a point, once I get in a set schedule, I'm going to start doing a day where I do work on comic pages. And you'll be seeing more of that stuff real time as I'm making it. But yeah, I'm kind of going back through, and I'm pretty happy for the most part with the first 3 chapters, but I wasn't very happy with the 4th or 5th chapter that are still out on the site. So what I'm going to be doing is taking those chapters down, and I'm just going to rework those 2 and then just kind of go from there. So that way I can kind of build out with some stuff that I'm actually happy with, and you know, people don't feel too jilted about having invested in it. And because I did have 1 run of Volume 4 printed, but yeah, that'll be available online once I get more of it done. And as far as comics go, I'm probably not going to do as much actual like comic books anymore, because that's just kind of, it's a little expensive and it's kind of a pain to actually keep inventory with, I've found. So I'm going to instead start releasing things as trades, because I also figure people are probably more interested in that. It's more shelf friendly. You know, you can admire it on your comic collection on a bookshelf rather than, you know, have it sit in the box when you're done. So yeah, hopefully that'll all work out and it'll be cool, and I'm definitely excited to be working on Panty Vigilante again. And I got a couple of comic ideas sort of rolling around in the noggin too, so, you know, I'd like to get to those at some point, but I definitely, you know, my heart is still with Panty Vigilante. Since I have some of this blue and white mixed up, I'm going to go ahead and kind of get started on the whites of his eyes. I mean, it definitely takes out the whole printing part of the equation. I still like doing a lot of print comics, just, I don't know. I don't really see a whole lot of future, especially since I'm very indie, in doing the each issue as its own individual book. It seems like a lot of people who do buy print comic books anymore are more into trades. So, but yeah, I mean, digital definitely makes my job a lot easier, that's for sure. A lot of it also is just, I kind of like having something on hand when I go to conventions. So, and just having, you know, a business card with my comic address isn't very memorable, but having an actual book there is. So, that's another reason why I do it. Okay, well, oh yeah, eyes. Okay. Since I have some of this blue and white mixed up, I'm going to go ahead and start on this. So, you know, he actually has eyes instead of these hollow purple spots. That's at least getting started on the eyes too. And the monocle's going to be one of the last things that I get it. I mean, that's not a bad idea. It's a lot of work. I'm only one person, but yeah. Do people even read blogs anymore? Like, I mean, I like blogs, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of just taking a second to take a look. I actually might take a very brief break, so I'll, yeah. BRB. I'll see you guys here, and just give me just a few minutes, and I'll be right back.
Oh, good night, Kronk. And thank you for hanging out with me. I am back. All right. Okay. So, yeah, figured I'd give this a second to dry a little bit and go just kind of take a short break. It's sitting in this chair for long periods of time can kind of make your butt hurt. So, I guess now I can start working on the little suction cup boys. Okay. Which is just going to be a lot of just painting in some shapes right here. Hi, Spiral. Now I'm just working on sort of putting some detail on the suction cups of the tentacles. I call them suction cups because I don't know what else to call them, but you know, the clingy boys. Arm plungers. There we go. We'll call them arm plungers. I know who you are. Your name precedes you. A lot of brain donuts. Erica. This is how I want every stream to start, is everyone just has to identify themselves right away.
I'm glad I could bring us all together. I mean, at that point, you know, you basically take over my stream. I mean, and I will have to bow before you. New name, who dis? If you start doing that, I'm gonna have you, yeah, come up with a slightly more outlandish name each time. So, and you better not disappoint me. And only the days. Excellent. Lag between chats. There really is. I'm kind of noticing that myself. Like, so if I'm responding to stuff that is you know, way like a few minutes ago, there is a lag. I don't know what to do about that. And then part of it also is I'm painting and then occasionally looking over at the chat just to see if anybody said anything. So. But yeah, I think there is a little bit of lag going on too. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Oh, thank you on music. This is Stream Beats by Harris Heller. And like you can go and like Google it if you want to, or Google it, just search on YouTube if you want to listen to it. I'm just using it because he basically made it just kind of as an open source sort of thing for background music, just so streamers and other creators on YouTube aren't like getting their videos taken down for copyright violations. So this is pretty much free for anyone to use, and I very much like it too. It's good music to just kind of work to. Like, I don't like music with lyrics when I'm writing, and so I'll just kind of put this on. It's like really good background music. Yeah, it's a pretty good mix. Yeah, if you're ever wanting something just on kind of in the background, yeah, check it out. It's just search Stream Beats. It's some pretty good stuff.
So slowly but surely he's coming together. Just kind of going on now. Edge control. I'm edging it. Highlights kind of in between them. So hopefully it looks a little more cohesive. I'm feeling pretty good about how it looks. And I'm probably gonna get in some blue and some spots. thank you very much. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the color scheme. I was kind of sort of thinking as I went. I'm really happy I went with the green for the under part of the tentacles, like that. It gives it a nice little, you know, surprise type of thing. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. Thank you. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun to paint also. It's the Greek word green. Let that sit for just a second, and then I'm probably going to move on to the hat. Greek word green phthalo. Okay, that's not it. Phthalocyanine green. Blue shade. So probably phthalo for short. I don't know, like it's just one of those, every time like I go to say it, I have to like actually look at I have to actually look at the label. I guess phthalo does kind of make sense though. Yeah, it's, yeah, you got it right. And yeah, I just kind of took to calling it Greek word green. And yeah, just kind of planting my hand down and just sort of swooping it.
handy boy. I don't know why, but I never made the connection between phthalo cyanide and phthalo green. Like, I guess that would be a shortened version of it. And the only reason I actually know phthalo green is because of Bob Ross when I was a kid. It's a lovely kind of bluish green though. I like it. Kind of close to my hair color. There's a phthalo. Oh, there's a blue and a yellow. I didn't know that. Like, I knew about phthalo green, but I didn't know that there was a phthalo blue and yellow. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look for those when I'm out at the art store again. I'll have to get a couple new jars of ink anyway. I'm running low on a couple of them. Too expensive. Oils, yeah. Oils get super duper expensive. And honestly, I don't like, I've painted in oils, I just don't like it very much. I mean, it's just kind of like, I don't know, it takes forever to dry, and, you know, the chemicals just, they smell bad, and they irritate my skin, and I'm kind of sensitive to smells anyway. Like, you know, real strong chemical smells like that, so I just kind of pass on oil paint. Give me acrylic, ink, or watercolor any day. It's affordable and they're fun. They're more fun. I do have to say, you do have a very good grasp of color pencils. Your color pencil work is very nice. Okay. There's at least the highlights for my head. I'm going to go in and do shadows. Have you ever done much with oil pastels? Like, when I do them, they always kind of look like just weird crayon drawings. I thought about giving them another chance, though. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure with those. I haven't had much luck with them, but I thought about giving them another shot. Oh, I love gouache. Yeah, that was kind of a required thing in school. Was learning gouache, and yeah, it's one of those that I wish was more common, you know, 'cause I love the feel of it. That blew up. There we go. I've gone through that feeling too. Not as long of a period, but yeah. I kind of just, you know, I had to make myself really kind of get motivated in it again, but I went through kind of a dry period where I just didn't draw anything too. I think for me it was just depression. Oh, I didn't realize he did oil pastels. I knew there was an. I remember the painting on your wall that is of a ship, and I know isn't there one of an island too? I think those are oil paintings, aren't they? I knew he painted. Yeah, the pastels. Yeah, the overwhelm is real. I definitely feel that. And ADHD. I had seriously considered like going to a psychiatrist or something and just seeing if like I had it. Like if that's something I would actually be diagnosed with, but I don't know, money, and it's like I don't know what I would do with that diagnosis because I would rather not take medication for it if I don't have to. Yeah, I have no idea. The only thing I can really think of that they do right now is Adderall. And I mean, there's a part of me that had thought about it, but yeah, there's a part of me that's a little afraid to get on something like that too. I'll deal with. Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. There's a lot of different medications that are out. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, the difference with depression medication from the 90s until now. You know, it kind of the same deal. And, you know, obviously I won't knock anybody who chooses to go on those meds. I'm on an antidepressant myself, but yeah, I don't know. I don't enjoy taking pills, so I try not to if I don't have to, I guess. But yeah, I'm sure there's more out there. Adderall, like I said, is the first one that comes to mind, but you know, I also don't know a huge amount about it. And sorry if it's getting shaky. I'm kind of moving around and kind of bumping stuff. Okay. Just kind of letting it set a minute, let everything dry. Yeah, very good point. Some medicines just people just don't handle well. It's kind of like me on any kind of painkiller. I do not enjoy them. I just remember when I hurt my knee and I was no fun to be around when I had to be on pain meds. I keep seeing some of the playback and I keep seeing my head getting in the way. Okay. I'm actually surprised by how close I'm getting to done. Pinkish purple, so I'm going to start with a muted pink as a base. Got most of my inks picked out over here, but I need to get my brown, which is transparent burnt umber, but the label's kind of torn off a little bit. Okay, I don't want to use too much, but I'm going to do a light wash for the tea and the cane. So I have to go kind of down.
so that at least gets, there's at least color weight in it, you know. And color on the pad is still wet, so I'm not going to build any more highlights on it. So I'll go back to working on the cup. too opaque right now. Okay. Alright. And I think I'm probably going to call it quits at 10 o'clock. We're at 9:33 right now. So, just as a heads up. I'm just excited I'm so close to done. Alright. Find a clean brush. There we go. That. Okay, I gotta stand up and stretch real quick. So yeah, how's everybody thinking of it so far? Thank you. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun to do. So I'm really happy with how it's turning out. Okay, now I'm kind of going back and adding a little bit of reflective color, because shadows generally aren't very opaque. There we go. Go back, and there's a little bit of a reflective. Let me see. Probably do a little bit of blue. Give this teacup just a little more foam. I'm probably going to add a tiny bit of green because it's going to be reflecting off of that. Okay, another thing I'm going to do, since I was thinking about reflective colors, is there's going to be some purples that are going to play off of that here. So I just kind of want to add those in. Kind of gives a little bit more flavor. Okay. Man, 3 hours of sitting and doing this. Just wow. But I'm feeling pretty good about it so far. There's going to be little things that I'm just going to kind of do on my own time. As far as detailing goes. It's almost 10 o'clock, so I'm really quiet. Are you able to hear me okay now? Man, there is a lot of lag on this. Okay, cool. I kind of sat back a little bit so I wasn't kind of hanging right over my desk, so Mike's probably picking me up better. But I think I'm going to call it a night as far as working on stuff. It's just shy of 10 o'clock. It just gets a little hard to, you know, sit for 3 hours and kind of work over this. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate you guys for kind of coming and hanging out with me. It makes it a lot more fun for me. And yeah, I'm looking forward. I think I'm going to do my next stream on Tuesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And as far as other little pluggables, yeah, super lag. I'm just now seeing your message. But yeah, that's going to be something I'm going to have to work on, but because it does make it a little hard to converse with you guys. But yeah, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time Tuesday, and As far as pluggables, I have them in the description, or at least I should. There's a my Stream Elements tip page, and which you can go to. I can't monetize on YouTube through chat right now, so you have to go through Streamlabs if you want to tip me. Not required, but always appreciated. And then I have my Etsy page. There's not a whole lot on there right now, but I'm kind of slowly adding. You can find my coloring book that I illustrated called Creepy Cute. I'm going to have some digital coloring pages from it on there, and then there's the painting of the 80s storm that I posted on YouTube not too long ago. And then there's also my Patreon. So if you want to support me there, you can get little perks, and I'm constantly adding new stuff. So yeah, you can also find me on Facebook at Erica Draws Stuff. Erica draws _ stuff at Instagram. And then Lady Samich, that's SAMMYCH on Twitter. And what's my other one? Oh yeah, TikTok. It's a 47-second lag. Wow. We'll figure it out, guys. Just gotta bear with me. Let's see. And Lady Samich, that's LADYSAMMICH on TikTok. So, yeah. I'm still learning, so this is very much a DIY thing. But, yeah, it was still a lot of fun, and thank you for hanging out with me, and, I hope you'll come check me out in the future. Thank you. Bye.